right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
A scary wake-up call for City SC fans staying the night in a downtown hotel.
So it's scary. I mean, you think you're safe in a hotel room on the 9th floor.
The disturbing discovery they made in their bed. Battle tested. Ruby Lee gives another knockout performance on national TV while greeting her fans back home in Missouri.
But first tonight, a widespread hard freeze is developing right now as temperatures drop below freezing. Why tonight isn't even the coldest night this week.
About an hour ago, a freeze warning went into effect for several of our eastern counties. If it didn't get below freezing at your house last night, it will tonight. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush, and Allred has the night off. We are in a weather alert. Let's get straight over to Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with how cold it will get overnight.
You know, this morning, some of us were down into the upper 20s. Those temperatures will be a few degrees colder, and the areas from St. Louis east and southeast that were in the low 30s, right around, but maybe not right below freezing. Well, you're looking at those temperatures for the first fall freeze tonight in all locations, dropping into the 20s. You're already there. Farmington's 29, Sullivan's 28. The Chesterfield Valley's at 27, so is Warrenton. Alton's 28. Notice, though, Scott Air Force Base is still 32, Salem's still 31. Those numbers will come down a few more degrees, so we're all headed back into the 20s. Your freeze warning from St. Louis south and east as we drop into the low and mid-20s once you get away from town. In town, we're thinking right around 29 degrees for the early morning low tomorrow. That's still going to be a hard freeze. And more cold air is running in here tomorrow. We're reinforcing the cold air that's already here. Gusty winds will add to that chill. And a record low temperature Wednesday morning is certainly possible. The record's 26. That's what we're forecasting as the low. We'll talk about tomorrow's trick-or-treat forecast in a few minutes, Mike.
New tonight, a St. Louis couple is sharing a frightening night they had in a downtown hotel. They woke up to a bullet flying through their window. It happened right next to City Park just hours after last night's playoff game. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski is live there now. Laura.
Yeah, Mike, the Pear Tree Inn is just steps away from City Park, and the couple says they always stay there after the City SC games, and they were actually on the 9th floor when that bullet came flying into their hotel room.
Debbie and Bart Andert are big City SC fans and made a whole night of the very first playoff game.
We come down early, we get down here like 3, we go to the pep rally, we do the whole bit, and then went to the game and then came back. But yeah, we've stayed at this place every single game.
Staying right next door at the Pear Tree Inn for the full fan experience, only to get woken up 2 hours after they went to sleep.
There was just this loud boom, like just super loud, woke me up, woke my husband up. You're in a hotel, you're kind of like, you sit up. I was like, what the heck was that?
Thinking nothing of it, Debbie went back to sleep, only to wake up again hours later to another surprise: bullet fragments in her bed.
Then I pulled back the curtain, bullet perfectly shattered. So then I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. So a bullet literally went through our window, into the wall, right above where I was sleeping.
Bart says moments after the loud bang, he adjusted the thermostat just inches from where the bullet hit.
And it shattered inside and put glass all over the floor, cut up the curtain.
And give or take a few minutes, either one of them could have been hit.
They finally told us that it ricocheted off the ceiling and went to the wall. Who knows where that would have ricocheted to or what, you know. So it's very scary, very scary.
Despite what happened, the Anderts say it's not going to keep them away.
Yeah, and I feel safe. I mean, you have to have a key to get in, but it wasn't inside, it was out here. And like I said, you can't control what's on the streets, unfortunately.
St. Louis police are investigating and recovered ballistic evidence from the hotel room, but did not give us any details about what may have happened outside. The hotel declined to comment. Reporting live from downtown, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
Tonight, police are looking for this teen wanted for second-degree murder in Maplewood. Investigators say 18-year-old Justin Vance should be considered armed and dangerous. The deadly shooting happened Thursday night near Yale and Manchester. According to court documents, Vance and a group of others demanded $400 from Taryn Vales. When he refused, the group began to attack him. Prosecutors say Vance shot Vales in the back. If you know of his whereabouts, you're asked to call Maplewood Police. That number is 314-645-3000. Tonight, a light at the end of the tunnel for striking workers at GM's Wentzville plant. After 6 weeks, their days on the picket line could soon be over. The United Auto Workers announced it has reached a tentative agreement with General Motors. This comes after framework deals with Ford and Stellantis. The 4-year deal includes a 25% pay raise, cost of living adjustments, and better retirement benefits.
We were relentless in our fight to win a record contract, and that is exactly what we accomplished. If ratified, GM salaried workers will be provided general wage increases for the first time in our history.
The agreement still has to be ratified by union members. We're told that vote could happen within the next few days. GM Chair and CEO Mary Barra released a statement tonight saying, "We are looking forward to having everyone back to work across all of our operations, delivering great products for our customers and winning as one team." A big shakeup tonight on the Decision 2024 ballot. Congresswoman Cori Bush is now facing a formidable challenger in her run for a third consecutive term. St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell announced today he's dropping his U.S. Senate bid to challenge Bush in the Democratic primary for Missouri's 1st U.S. Congressional District. Our political editor Mark Maxwell previews this high-profile matchup.
Wesley Bell's campaign announcement couldn't possibly come at a worse time for Congresswoman Cori Bush. In recent months, she's lost her campaign manager, her chief of staff on Capitol Hill, and campaign finance records she's filed with the FEC show her campaign is more than $100,000 in debt. That's just the state of the race. Then there are the compelling storylines. Now you have Wesley Bell, a high-profile Democrat, who, like her, birthed his political career in the movement and momentum born out of Ferguson. And he's openly calling her Democratic credentials into question, challenging her for bailing on President Biden and bailing on key American allies.
Particularly in times like these, where when we look around the world with our Democratic allies in the Ukraine, our Democratic allies in Israel, looking for ways to bring about peace, and supporting our allies. We need folks in Washington, D.C. that are going to work together, that are going to stand together, but also be effective.
Congresswoman Cori Bush's new campaign manager called Bell's entrance into the race, quote, disheartening, because he's the first black man to hold his job, now running against the first black woman to hold hers.
And Mark will have much more on this development on the next edition of The Record. That airs Sunday night after Sports Plus. St. Louis native and world boxing champ Devon Alexander has new plans to battle youth violence in the city. New tonight, our Robert Townsend shows us how the professional fighter now plans to fight for the kids in hopes of keeping them on the right path.
Alexander, even one-handed, is outthrowing him by a lot.
Devon Alexander is a 3-time world boxing champion, but now the 35-year-old St. Louis native is taking his gloves off in hopes of keeping teenagers out of trouble and off the streets.
This is just a start of how we can get these kids stay busy and doing something positive.
After he graduated from Vashon High School, Alexander followed his dream to become a boxing champ. He still lives in St. Louis and says he's tired of seeing kids and teenagers commit crimes, become victims of violence, or even lose their lives.
Boxing is a tool that you can use for your attitude.
Through his foundation, Alexander has now teamed up with the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis to host quarterly boxing events for young aspiring boxers. The champ says he plans to help the boys and girls enhance their moves in the ring, give them life skills, and push them to fight in the ring, not in the neighborhoods. He says that's more than a slogan.
You want to get mad at anybody, come to the ring and knock on that bag, and it'll calm you down.
I would just want to finish boxing.
Jace Durham recently won his first championship belt during a competition in the Kansas City area.
Him coaching me, it seems like I will understand him more, and he will help me even more.
I always knew I was coming back to help my community.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Right now, there are only 2 VIP tables left for Saturday's event at Harris Stowe. You can find more information on that and how to enroll your child in Alexander's future boxing camps at ksdk.com.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
That's the pride of Foley, Missouri, 16-year-old Ruby Lee. She competed in the battle rounds of NBC's The Voice tonight. Coach Reba McEntire picked her over teammate Al Boogie to move to the knockout round. And unlike her blind audition, the yodeling teen sensation was back in Missouri to watch tonight's episode. Ruby was joined by family and fans at JP's Hideout in Cottleville for a watch party. The episode was taped weeks ago, and she's had to keep it a secret.
It's so amazing watching with my family because, you know, my mom and my sister were not there to see my battle. So them seeing it now, it's like really crazy. I'm like reliving the moment again.
Ruby has several local performances coming up, and you can catch those dates on her Facebook page.